The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Aging Horizon. I'm your host, Wilmot Collins. Today we have an exciting program for you. We have Lisa Baxter. She is the SHIP and SMP coordinator for the Department of Health and Human Services, and she will be bringing you a lot of information. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Medicare loses $60 million in Montana each year, $70 billion nationally. Medicare processes 4.5 million claims a day. They don't know who your doctor is, but you do. Mistakes can happen.
Read your Medicare statements and call Montana Senior Medicare Patrol if you see anything unexpected.
1-800-551-3191. This project is supported by a grant by the Administration for Community Living.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
45 years, 2 packs a day. That's like $80,000. I thought I was just hurting myself until I fell asleep in a chair with a cigarette. The whole house went up. I lost it all. I knew smoking was expensive, but I never thought it would cost me everything.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, but my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
We're back, and this is Aging Horizon, brought to you by the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. We have as our guest today, Lisa Baxter. She is the Aging Services Program Coordinator and SHIP and SMP Program Coordinator. And Lisa will tell us all these different acronyms, what they mean and what they do and who they serve. So let's stay tuned, and we invite Lisa to the floor. Lisa, welcome.
It's nice to be here today. I'm very excited to be able to speak about these programs that are so important to our seniors across Montana.
Great. I just said a lot of acronyms, ADRC, SMP. What are those?
Don't they love the acronyms? The ADRC is the Information and Assistance. What they are is aging and disability resource centers, and they're located across Montana. At the SHIP as an acronym for State Health Insurance Program. We're counselors that talk about Medicare and Medicaid. And SMP is the Senior Medicare Patrol. We fight fraud and abuse.
Great, great. So I know that they're located around Montana. Where around Montana? Where are they located? How can people get to them?
Well, ADRCs, the Aging and Disability Resource Centers, they're located throughout the United States. And Montana actually has 8 of them, and they're usually located with the area agencies on aging. So they are located, there's 9 agencies on aging, 8 ADRCs. Area 3 does not have one.
So how do you work with people? Do you travel to those areas and meet with our seniors? How is it done?
Well, in order to spread the word for the information and assistance, because the ADRC covers a wide range of options for people, we not only visit with people in our offices over the phone, we do outreach and presentations. We go to senior centers. We go to their meal sites and visit with them there. And we visit with people all the time when they come in as SHIP coordinators. If they come in for Medicare, we'll talk about the other programs and talk about the Senior Medicare Patrol, because that's very important. So the biggest thing is we wear a lot of hats. And because we do travel I go from as far as Zortman to Dagmar, which is about 265 miles one way. We see a lot of windshield time, but it's very important to do that to get to everybody in rural Montana.
That is awesome. And I know you travel around this state and you have remote sites. So what are those remote sites like? What is it you get out of the remote sites?
Well, for example, I could use Zortman as an example. The first time I went to Zortman was quite an experience. But the more you go and the more you visit with people, they become very comfortable with you. You sit down with them and you have a meal with them. And during the meal, you bring up various subjects and topics and ask them what services they'd like to see or what concerns they have for their community as far as aging services. Because our whole point is to try to keep people in their homes and out of facilities. And another one, Dagmar, they have a community senior center there, and it also does other things in the building. And you just sit and visit with people. Or if you're doing a presentation, you set up a presentation and you do a talk, like I do Medicare 101s across my counties. And we just talk about programs, and in those conversations, you find out a lot about other needs that they might need, and then you can tell them about those.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So I see that you talk about resources that you take to these sites, or you provide these resources. What are some of these resources that you provide to our seniors and others?
Well, a lot of the resources we'll talk about the CHIP counseling program, what we can do for that as far as open enrollment and other enrollment periods. And then I do bring a lot of things about the programs that our area agencies cover, like grandparents taking care of grandchildren, family caregiver programs, Alzheimer's support groups, Veterans Help, Adult Protective Services, and Ombudsman, and housing, the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. We have a vision program. We have a program that helps with home modification. So you can see that there is just various programs.
Yes.
So when I go do outreach, I don't talk about one specific thing. Just during the visit, I can glean what information that they might need.
Wow, Lisa, that's a mouthful, we say, and that's a lot of information for our seniors. And we appreciate you for going across Montana, because as we know how large our state is, and you traveling 200-something miles one way and 200-something miles the other way just to be able to take the information to our seniors. We want you to know that we appreciate all your hard work. And we will be coming right back to discuss other issues with Lisa Baxter. I want you to stay tuned, and we will be back with these issues. We're looking at other issues that Lisa will be discussing with us. We're talking about the grandparents. We're talking about family caregivers. All of those will be coming up soon. So please stay tuned, and we will be right back.
Hey, caregivers, did you know that respite time is your time? How will you spend it?
We love to get outdoors, so if we have any free time, that's pretty much where you can find us.
Bailey Tolson, East Helena.
We love to hike. Any chance we get, we're out there. And of course, there's always date night.
Montana Lifespan Respite. Respite for caregivers. It's okay to need it. It's okay to want it. It's okay to get it. To learn if you're eligible, call 1-800-224-6034.
We love date night.
You've probably seen some big-name celebrities on your TV lately talking about all the Medicare benefits you're missing out on. But the insurance companies who are paying for these ads may be pushing benefits not available in Montana. Fortunately, help is available from a friendly state health insurance assistance program counselor who can help you sort it all out. It's free, and we screen everyone for eligibility regardless of your zip code. It's Montanans helping Montanans. Call today.
Did you just text me?
I didn't want to disturb you if you were sleeping.
Sleeping? I'm sitting right next to you, silly.
There you are. Hey, I found a couple of Medicare helping programs online that I think we ought to look into.
It says if we qualify, we can get help paying for our prescription drugs. Oh, and there's a program that can help pay our Part B premium.
To learn more about extra help and Medicare savings programs, call your local SHIP counselor today.
Maybe I better text him.
A decade of Montana fourth graders on Energy Share. If you're having trouble keeping your home warm this winter, Energy Share of Montana is here to help. We've helped thousands of Montanans who are having trouble paying their energy bills, and getting assistance from the friendly folks at Energy Share is only a phone call or Google search away. Energy Share is not a government program. It's neighbors helping neighbors who face energy emergencies. The Montana way. Call or visit our website today. Thanks to Energy Share, I'm cozy like a bear.
We're back, and this is Agent Horizon. We've been talking to Lisa Baxter. Lisa is the SHIP and SMP program coordinator. And Lisa, welcome back.
Very excited to be here. So much information to share.
Yes, indeed. We talk about now. Let's talk about grandparents taking care of grandchildren. What can you offer?
Go ahead.
Well, what can you offer the audience?
Well, I recently helped a couple. They came in and they were taking care of their grandchildren. They were over 60. So what I did is I went through all of the programs that were available to them, such as Medicaid, SNAP, which is a supplemental nutrition program, and the LIHEAP, which is a low-income energy assistance. And I referred them to the local food bank to make sure that they were actually on the programs that were available to them. And they actually were on most of those. But this time around, we discovered that they were not on the commodity supplemental food program. And they had applied before and they were denied. So they didn't think they would qualify this time. And I told them, sometimes the program guidelines change. So we had them apply for that program, and lo and behold, they did get approved this time, and that helped them greatly.
That's good.
To support feeding those children. And then there's also a program called the Kinship Navigator program that works well with that. It's a support group that helps grandparents and relatives taking care of grandchildren. Oh. The program offers education, research-based support, connection to community services, and it helps with the caregivers across the entire state of Montana, Montana's 8 Native American tribes, and the Montana's urban cities.
So you also talked about family caregivers. Tell us about that.
That's a big, huge need in Montana as well as across the United States. Recently, I had a family call asking for information on nursing facilities as well as assisted living facilities in our area and how to pay for them. Basically, the family was rotating assistants because all of the family members were working full-time to take care of their mother. She had dementia and her husband had passed away years ago. What I did in that case is I ran over long-term care costs, the Medicaid application process, gave them the handout, how can Medicaid help with my nursing home costs, and referred them to the Montana Alzheimer's Association, who is a great wealth of resource for individuals dealing with people with dementia.
Great.
And then lastly, for a short-term resource, I referred them to the Lifespan Respite Program. And its motto is, it's okay to need it, it's okay to want it, it's okay to get it.
Good. I see you talk about, what's the Adult Protective Services and the Ombudsman program?
Well, a lot of people get those two programs confused. I get calls with people that have a concern in the community. It might be a family member, it might be a friend. A vulnerable adult is basically what they're concerned about, and there are some issues with that, and they wanted to know who they could contact to get some assistance. So if the person is in the community, it would be Adult Protective Services, and we can refer to the local one that they need. Or if they're in a long-term care facility, such as a nursing home or assisted living, they're going to want to visit with an ombudsman.
Great. And I see thank you so much for all that information, Lisa. I'm sure the people listening at home are taking notes and getting ready. So what's the home care and personal care assistant program?
Home care. Well, home care assistance is one of the most sought after programs in Montana and the United States, again, because the goal is for people to stay in their homes. And as long-term care beds become very tight and filled, low staffing, etc., it's more important than ever to keep people in their homes. So the goal is to do that, just keep people in their homes and save funds for families. It's all dependent on location. Some of Montana's locations have a variety of options and services. Some have a few service providers, and some do not have any.
Right.
So it's the goal of the ADRC to help you find those resources. It helps families avoid the frustration of looking for services by themselves.
You just used another acronym, ADRC. Please tell my audience, what's that? What is the ADRC?
We kind of glossed over it briefly in the beginning, but an ADRC is an Aging and Disability Resource Center.
Okay.
Basically, it's a clearinghouse for people to get the services they need. It's kind of a one-stop shop. You can give us a call so that you don't have to do your searches all over the internet or calling all around or asking your friend or asking your neighbor for information. We should have that information for you, or we can refer you to where you need to go for that information. And the state also has an Aging and Disability Resource Directory. We can refer you to the directory if you like to do searches. It's specific to older adults, people 60 and over, and those disabled. So it's geared up to show you the service providers in your area. Very good source.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We're about nearing the time to come for a break, but we'll be right back. Lisa will be going into the nitty-gritty of SHIP, SHIP, and SMP, Senior Medicare Patrol. So I'm going to advise you, get your coffee, get your tea, and stay tuned, because we're going to be right back with more valuable information from Lisa Baxter.
Can you say ombudsman?
Ombudsman. Ombudsman?
Uma Doodlesman? Fortunately, you don't have to say it right to get the help of a long-term care ombudsman. If you or a loved one reside in assisted living or long-term care, an ombudsman can help resolve any issue. And these services are completely free and confidential. Now, why don't you try that again?
Ombudsman.
I was the last guy you'd expect to get diabetes. I was a competitive runner and I always took care of myself. So when I was diagnosed, it kind of threw me. But it's really encouraging to know I'm not alone with it. There are a lot of other people going through the same things as I am. It takes some effort. You have to keep after it. Exercise, meds, and diet are the key. But there are a lot of folks who want me to succeed. Diabetes is not the end of the world. With effort and attitude, you can have a normal life.
I think the most pleasant surprise when we turned 65 and signed up for Medicare Part B was finding out about our Welcome to Medicare preventive visit.
It was free, and it gave us the opportunity to visit with our doctors and establish a plan for our health going forward.
They reviewed our medical history, measured our height, weight, blood pressure, and counseled us on other risk factors.
To learn more about Medicare's free or low-cost preventive and wellness benefits, call your local SHIP counselor at 800-551-3191. I mentioned it's free, right?
Twice.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
We're back, and we've been talking to Lisa Baxter, SHIP and SMP Program Coordinator for the Department of Health and Human Services, and she's been providing us a lot of valuable information. And so we have Lisa on. Lisa, welcome back, and let's start talking about SMP. Everybody said we use so many acronyms. Tell us about this SMP.
SMP is one of our most important programs. It's the Senior Medicare Patrol. We basically do everything we can to fight Medicare fraud and abuse and bring that information to the Medicare beneficiaries because they are the most important piece in that program and our ability to fight fraud and abuse. It's a mouthful for me.
So, are you saying we do have a lot of fraud and abuse here in Montana?
Well, to start out, there's $60 billion worth of fraud in the United States every year. Montana alone has 60 million of that.
Whoa.
So it is a huge issue.
Okay, so you're also the SHIP coordinator. Tell us about SHIP.
SHIP coordinator, well, the SHIP coordinator position just means that I cover the 17 areas in our eastern Montana, but the state has several SHIP coordinators, but a SHIP program counselor helps people with Medicare and Medicaid issues. They can talk about any other health insurance program issues, help you sign up with Social Security for the Medicare Part A and B. During open enrollment, we work to help you sign up for Medicare Part D, and that's very, very important. For example, I had a gentleman who never signed up for Part D, and he was 80 years old in an assisted living facility, never needed any assistance, and was put on an expensive drug, and it was $1,500 a month.
Whoa.
If you don't sign up for Part D when you're first eligible, you have a lifetime penalty.
So what is this Part D, Lisa? You got my attention now because you said,
didn't I?
Yes, you did. So tell us, what is Medicare Part D?
Medicare Part D, the easy way to remember it is for drugs. It's your pharmacy program. It helps you pay for your medications. Good. And as we all know, medications are very expensive.
Yes, indeed. Okay, there is another program that you're in charge of, is the Medicare Savings Program. You want to tell us about how do we save some money?
Well, the Medicare Savings Program is really important for people who are lower income. It has three levels: the QMB, which is Qualified Medicare Beneficiary, the QI, and then QMB, QI. Well, anyway, there's three different ones. And the most important one is the QMB because it can help pay for your Medicare Part A, your Part B, and your keep your co-pays fairly low.
Okay, that is good. Yeah, so Lisa, tell us about this Big Sky RX. What is it for some of us who don't know what you're talking about? Big Sky RX.
Well, Big Sky RX is a great program for farmers and ranchers and others who do not have much monthly income every month, but have assets that exceed the program thresholds to qualify for a low-income subsidy. If you qualify for Big Sky RX, your Medicare Part D premium can be paid up to, in 2025, it'll be $50.60 that they can pay up to. So that could save you a pretty good chunk of change to keep that readily available cash at your fingertips.
And I know you spoke about the SHIP and the S&P. Are there any eligibility requirement? What are those requirements if there are?
For SHIP and SMP?
Yes.
We're free. We're free to offer advice and to help you, assist you. For example, I had an individual in Poplar who's seen his doctor one day and he got a call the next, and it was a scam artist, but he didn't know that. They were trying to sell him a brace, and he figured it was related to his previous appointment the day before. So they did get his Medicare number, even though he knew not to give it to him. It just seemed like it was part of his doctor's appointment. So I was there to help him. He just called me, and we contacted Medicare, and then we also contacted Renee Labrie Shanks at SMP in Montana, right, and reported the fraud to her.
Good, and so at least that was captured, right? I'm assuming you were able to get some refund from that brace. Now
we're monitoring his account because sometimes you won't see the charges show up right away, so you do have to monitor your account. Sometimes Medicare will actually issue you a new card.
Good. So quickly, can you tell me what's LIS? LIS. That's another one of your acronyms.
Yes, I kind of got the MSP and the LIS, the low income subsidy, turned around a little bit, but it's a program that can help pay your Medicare Part D premium, deductibles, and keep your copays low. This is extremely important to keep people taking their medications. I've had people come in here and tell me, I am not going to take this medication if I have to pay $500 a month. I just won't take it. So the first thing I would do is screen them for the low-income subsidy program to see if we can get them on that to help keep their copays really low. Great. Usually it'll keep your copays down to about $4 to $12, depending on whether it's generic or a name brand.
Good, great. Thank you, Lisa. You've been giving us a lot of valuable information, and we appreciate that. This is a program, this is Aging Horizon, and is brought to you by the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. Thank you, and see you next time.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.